Okay, what did I read today? Actually, I was reading this was all over the place. At first I was like, this can't be real, is it? Basically, yesterday was the 4th of July, so people in the US were having their celebrations. And here it says for Kanye West, like, he basically posted this on his Twitter saying, "We must now realize the promise of America by trusting God, unifying our vision, and building our future. I am running for President of the United States." To my knowledge, there's a time limit, so to speak, isn't there? Where people can put in their names saying, I'm going to be running for, I guess, that position. Like, isn't it a little too late? So overall, I personally thought it was more of a joke, I guess you could say. But yeah, so many people are reporting it like it's real. Even people responding like what? Like it says here, Elon Musk saying, "You have my full support." I did quickly, just out of curiosity, just see how people celebrate it, and there was one part where I thought like, hey, what is that? Like a huge drone? It's just kind of funny. When you look at something like this, you automatically assume nowadays like, oh, it's a drone because of its shape and all that. Makes me wonder, if you ever had the opportunity to fly something this large with like a controller, would you actually be able to do it, you think? Based on all your years of experience just flying something like a regular hobby drone? The controls are going to be way different too, I guess you could say. Although with flying, I guess like a hobby drone, a lot of people do complain they're running out of places to fly just because they're constantly confronted with people saying, hey, you can't fly here and so forth, even though technically they could. And this one here, it says, Lakes Country Recreation Area gets drone flying park, veterans tribute. Marlies Bauman and the rest of the volunteer committee are always dreaming up new features for the 35-acre recreation area next to Zion Lutheran Church in Amor Township called God's Acres. The latest dream turned reality at God Acres is a drone park, dubbed Armour International Drone Airport. The 2.5-acre drone park features a hoop through which pilots can attempt to fly their drones to test their skills. It has 7 landing pads, each identified as a different geographic location, including Egypt, Greenland, and Oahu. Bauman says the idea for the drone park came when they saw people using the outfield of the baseball field to practice piloting their drones. That's when Zion congregation member Chuck Erickson took it upon himself to build the pilots their own space. Bauman said while she has seen several people enjoying the drone park since it was completed this spring, she is still trying to get the word out that it is there. "We don't have any dollars to advertise," Bauman said. "When we get donations, we like to use it directly to improve the park." God's Acres is also getting Veterans Tribute installment this summer. The walking paths and cement slab for the tribute are already in place and the flagpoles are installed. A large granite display piece is still being shipped. So that's kind of awesome, isn't it? Because usually you read stories of, again, people being confrontational with people flying, or at the same time people saying, no, get it out of this place. We don't want this at all. Whereas this place is actually encouraging people, I guess, to use it. And like they say, I guess, they don't have the advertising budget. So anyone around this area, in my opinion, if people are doing this to support things like the hobby in that way, to show people, again, like, yeah, there's nothing wrong. People are flying it for fun and all that. So here's the place here. It says God's Acres, 36051 CO Highway 74, Battle Lake, MN. Because ultimately, in my opinion, the more varieties of hobbies, interests, the better overall. And with all the news and tension around the world, as you all know, just about things like racism and all that, a lot of companies are adapting to try to be more inclusive, I guess you could say, or at the same time completely changing brand labels because today they may be perceived as, I guess you could say, racist or promotes like stereotypes. So this one was kind of interesting where in Canada there's a team called the Edmonton Eskimos, and I guess because of the whole situation they're reevaluating like the name. So you can read what they wrote here. It says, the Edmonton Eskimos conducted an extensive research and engagement program with Canada's Inuit community regarding our team name. We announced the findings from that program several months ago, which included the fact that there was no consensus among the Inuit people and considerable support for the Eskimos name among Inuit in various parts of northern Canada. We recognize that there has been increased attention to the name recently, and we will ramp up our ongoing engagement with the Inuit communities to assess their views. So what would you say there? Too much? Makes sense? Again, it's just in this day and age, it's basically people are trying to be, I guess, as safe as possible in terms of how they brand stuff. Alright, see you guys later.